I'm alive.
There we go. Cheers.
Cheers. We're doing it.
We're doing it. Bit behind schedule, but good enough.
Yeah. I mean, we've been trying to get this sorted for months, haven't we?
Yeah, we've had a few delays and a few ups and downs and a few hiccups, but
We tried to record last week.
yeah, that was a good practice.
Good practice.
They got deleted.
Deleted straight away.
Yeah. Good week?
No.
Why?
I had to go to work. It's never a good week when you have to go to work.
There may be a few million people that agree with you there.
Yeah, probably everybody, but
You could have worse jobs. You could be, I don't know, a sewage drain cleaner,
yeah,
you know.
that wouldn't be very nice.
Well, swimming around shit all day is not ideal.
It's not.
So what are we going to... Go on. You go.
I was going to say, what have you been up to this week?
Work. I did frequent the gym at least 2 or 3 times at stupid o'clock in the morning.
Wait, what time? What stupid o'clock?
Well, I say stupid o'clock. I got up one morning about 4, another morning about 5, because I don't sleep very well. And then after, I don't know, 2 extremely strong coffees, I mustered up the strength to go to the gym. Yeah, I was in there for about... Well, I don't open... When I go to, don't open until 6. And then did my bit, which is good. Came home, had breakfast, went to work, and then felt tired for the rest of the day.
That's why I only work out in the afternoon, straight after work, and then I can release all that built-up aggression that I've built up.
I used to do that, but the problem is, like, I'll have something to eat, and it's going back out again. And then when the weather's like this, where it's constantly fucking raining, it's something biblical, like 40 days and 40 nights that it's been raining, I can't be asked. It's like I don't want to get my delicate little head wet.
Yeah, but all you're getting wet is getting in the car, going to the gym, getting out the car, going into the gym.
You're asking too much. You're asking too...
Because I've started running again because I've got a race on the 15th, on the 21st of March. I've had to run in this.
Yeah, but you probably get hot doing that, so it's probably nice to cool you down.
It is nice. I do like the rain.
So, but yeah, no, I can't be asked out in the evening. I think that's a young man's game, and I'm not so young anymore.
Well, there's something going on to the TV behind you.
You're the tech man.
I'm not a very good one because it's taken me about 2 hours to set this up, the whole podcast thing up.
Well, you're doing well. We're doing well. So what we're going to talk about? What we normally talk about when we've had 4 beers or 5 beers?
Probably, yeah.
What's that usually? Money, business, politics.
Politics.
We'd have to talk about politics.
Conspiracy theories.
Yeah. They're pretty cool.
It's more than 4 pints, so before we get into the conspiracy theories.
That's more like a spirit sort of journey.
It's when we get into the whiskies and the vodkas and things like that.
And the rum.
Yeah. Yeah.
See much politics this week?
I've been keeping away from it. Because I've been so busy with work, doing my studying for my MBA and all that sort of stuff. So I try and shut down and keep away from it.
Do you find though that it can bring you down? Like, as in, like, you can wake up in the morning and think, "Oh, really, this shit again."
Yeah.
A bit like you remember in COVID when there was nothing good other than COVID, and you were like that. My phone needs to go in the bin.
Yeah, that's exactly why I keep away from it when I'm trying to actually do stuff, because it affects me. It affects me that it seems so unfair at the moment.
But I used to watch a bit of GB News. I used to like a bit of GB News, only because I used to report stuff that like it was on regular news. But the problem was, though, it was always miserable. There was nothing good, nothing like, oh, this has happened today. Everyone's going to get £5 in the post. You never get anything like that.
Yeah, well, that's what's missing with society, isn't it? There's no good. Good.
It's all doom and gloom.
It's all shit. It's all... We started this, and you asked me if I've had a good week, and I straight away was like, no, I didn't have a good week. It was shit because I went to work.
Because I woke up on Monday morning, my blood pressure was higher than it should be, and it all just needs to fuck off.
Exactly. It was all shit. But there's no good. Yeah. You're just bombarded with shit.
Yeah.
So I try and keep away with it when I've got keep away from it when I've got a load of stuff to do. And then when I've got nothing to do, I get bored and I'm like, oh, And I start going down rabbit holes. I start researching people. I start looking at what they've done or what they've said. I'm like, how's this character in charge of something? Do you know what I mean? How's this dude in charge of people and money and the way that we live? And I get really angry. And then I have to stop because then I've got something else to do.
But it does, it winds you up. So, all right, then let's go to another one. If I said to you, because this will probably come into a bit of everything, what's the best piece of advice, professionally or personally, you've ever been given? Oh,
Oh,
that's
that's
a
a good
thinker, isn't it?
question. Good question. The best piece of advice, it's got a bit of a backstory. So I started my career as a youth worker, working with young kids, right? And working with sort of kids in up north
Because
who
that's where you're from.
that's from where I'm from, up north, who are on the edge of society, as they say. So kids that are in gangs and
Just
shit like
quickly,
that. Yeah. Go on.
is it up north or do you say north?
No, up north. To be
Just
fair,
checking.
it's the Midlands, but it's north to where we are right now.
Everywhere's north of where we are.
Yeah, we're right on the south coast. And there was my boss at the time, this guy called Steve. I'll always remember him. He was like this guru type guy. Do you know what I mean? My first sort of boss straight out of school. I fell into sort of this youth work. I went to college to study to be a plumber, and I didn't even want to do plumbing. I just did it because my mum said, you need to go to college or you're going to be out of the house sort of thing. And this Steve, who used to take us on these sort of wild adventures as youths, was like, we've got a couple of jobs coming up in the CAF, and we're looking for some young people to take them. You guys are that age now. Do you want a job? I'm like, yeah, of course I want a job. Well, if we just got to sit in the youth club and sell sell shit to other youths. So we did that, but that quickly evolved in me to getting a job as an actual youth worker. And he said to me, there was an incident where this new boss came in for this centre, and he shit all over an idea I had, like proper and I'm a young kid. I'm young, do you know what I mean? I'm like 16. He shit all over an idea that I had. And his idea was some even shitter than mine. And I was like, what? He wanted to introduce like a reward system for young people with good behaviors. And do you know what he called? I'll always remember it. He called them chitty points. And he shit over my idea, and then he implemented something called chitty points. And I was like, you dick. Anyway, Steve, my direct boss at the time, said to me, don't just ignore what people think of you because they're more sort of self-absorbed than you actually think.
Yeah.
And for a long time, that stuck with me. But for years, that's the thing that stuck with me. But I still suffer from it. I still worry what other people think. If I've had a few drinks or I wake up in the morning and I know I've been drunk, I'm like, oh God, what have I done? Just, I mean, what did I do last night?
I have witnessed a few of them text
Yeah.
messages.
So that's mine. It is this guy called Steve told me to don't worry about what other people think of you,
Yeah.
what you've done, because they're more self-absorbed than you think. They're not looking at you. Sometimes they're looking at themselves. That was mine. What about yours?
See, mine was weird. And if people say I repeat myself, but I was sat in a bar in 2010 in Las Vegas. It had been a bit of a strange. We were only there for the weekend. It was a bit of a strange weekend, a bit of a lads' weekend, and it was kind of like The Hangover before The Hangover came out, and in every sense of the word. I mean, we woke up and you're like, how did that happen? There wasn't a tiger in the room, but it was things we got away with and stuff like that. I mean, we were sitting there one day and I think it was the end of the weekend, and it was just getting to the point where everyone was just ready to go home. One of the guys with us was a property developer, and I said to him, look, how'd you get successful? What would you do? And he said, and I still sit down now, and now people say the same thing, but in like different versions, but they say, surround yourself with successful people, you become successful. You know, surround with people who you lower down and you'll drop down to their level. And it's a true fact that, you know, it seems like, you know, positive people. If you're positive, other people become positive. You must have had it. You go into work in a brilliant mood, and there'd be someone at work who's in a foul mood, and before, you know, within 15 minutes, everyone's in a bad mood because this one prick's walked in, you know, because his mum didn't pack his packed lunch, and you're like that. And then, of course, great. Normally on a Monday, cool. Everyone's having a bad day. But it's true, you surround yourself with successful people, you do become successful. The only problem with that is that if you're this person trying to fit in with people that are successful, you've got to try and talk them into it because they're going to look at you like you're the lower person. And they're like, what are you doing in our little circle? So, yeah. But then going back to what you said, I watch people like Dan Penner and, people like that, like influencers like that. And they say that, Jeff Bezos, Henry Ford, all those sort of people all have the same outlook. They don't give a flying fuck what people think about them. I think which is the way you got to be ignorant. If you spend your life worrying about what everybody else thinks, unless you're Keir Starmer, obviously, but then don't put yourself in a position like that to be judged in the first place. But yeah, just sort of keep your head down, work hard, and
sometimes I'm successful with that view of don't give a shit what other people think, and other times I'm not. I get this imposter syndrome bollocks. But for what you've just said there about surrounding yourself with successful people, why are you doing this podcast then? With me?
You're successful in your own ways. The thing
in
is
my
that,
own ways.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's always like, but have you noticed that when you surround yourself with people like that, you tend to level up, even if it's just like your outlook on life. I mean, a lot of it I think comes with age because the older I've got, the more calm I've got. But I think you become more wise. Like not a lot winds me off anymore, but I don't get as. But I think, oh, all right, get on with it. Whereas I could remember 20 years ago, you'd be irate over saying, oh, it's not worth my blood pressure going up.
But in terms of sort of what you've just said there about as you got older, you got calmer. I think I got calmer for a couple of years, and then now I've gone into something else of pure rage.
But what winds you up?
Everything. People chewing loudly. That winds me right
Yeah, but
up.
that's quite a lot of people do that, don't they?
Yeah, people that are self-entitled. The government winds me up. Everything winds me up.
But you say entitlement. I think that's a new thing. No, well, not a new thing, as in like it's never happened before. But it seems like a lot of people now are entitled. Do you know what I mean? Like, as in, you look at work and stuff like that. A lot of people come into work and they feel entitled. They think that by turning up at the start time and going home is enough. What happened to people working their ass off? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't get that anymore. There's a lot of lazy people. I think since COVID, everyone's like, well, I don't need to do that. Well, all right, but then don't moan when you're a nobody.
Yeah.
But then not everyone's for that, so I do get it. But yeah, I just don't know. It's I don't know. Would you in your workplace? Do you get like, entitled people? Right, that's a yes then. So everyone out there, see a big fat yes.
There is everywhere, isn't there? There is everywhere, and I think people get used to. I think there's a big problem with adaptability and resilience, and we don't teach that anymore. There's nothing that teaches you resilience, or adaptability. We're back. We're back after our technical issues and refills.
So go on, you're saying teachers and schools or something along those lines?
Yeah, teachers and schools. Too many drinks. Where was I going with it, Scott?
And I remember. And this is the purpose of editing.
This is why editing is a thing. And we're now really questioning my editing skills because I'm not sure I can save this one. I was talking about, what were we talking about? School. I was talking about schools, education. What were we talking about before that?
About being successful, surrounding yourself with successful people.
In there, mate, it's gone. It's gone.
The thing is, though, it's like on the back of it, it's like I always say, it's if you can have a positive outlook in life, I think that's where we were getting to, because it's the be all and end all. I saw this thing, Anna Huberman. He said, winners and losers, winners circle, losers circle. And it's no different other than how you deal with something. So Arnold Schwarzenegger said it. He said, if your car breaks outside your house, you can sit there and it can sulk for a day or 7 days. But even part of those times, it's still going to be broken. So the quicker you get over yourself and stop sulking and get on with stuff, the better you will be. And that outlook is probably where you need to go in off, because again, everyone I know that's successful are positive in one form or another. Don't get me wrong, there's going to be horrendous things that happen, but how you deal with them, it's like if you lose a parent, for argument's sake. If you lose a parent, it's going to be terrible. You're going to have a really tough time. However, it's not the end of your life. You can't sit there and let it control the rest of your life, because that was always going to happen. That's the circle of life. It's a bit different if you go the other way around, you lose a kid or something like that, because that's going to be completely horrendous, and that's not the circle of life. But again, it's get up and do the best you can. Because you see a lot of these people that are sitting around feeling sorry for themselves, and you actually ask them if they've had a really bad life, because some people have had a horrendous life, and they're still doing it. Anyone who's lost a parent at a young age or something like that, you normally find out those are the most resilient fuckers you can find. Because if you can deal with that at a young age, losing a parent, you can pretty much deal with the rest of your life. So, so when you get some of these people that say, oh, poor old me, my life's so bad, and you ask them what's happened, usually, or a lot of the time, nothing bad's really happened to them. They just want to play victim. And we won't get on that little soapbox.
I get it. You got that choice on you. It's that stoic approach. Like, you look at sort of Stoics, Marcus Aurelius and all that sort of stuff, and you read their quotes. And I've read Marcus Aurelius, and that's everything I've tried. At one point in my life, I went through this stoic phase, just trying to get as much stoic information as possible. And then someone, I think it was a YouTube video of a book collector. I like old books. There we go. I'm outed. I like old books. I like collecting books. But there was this book collector, and I was watching what he was talking about, expensive books. He was talking about Stoicism and these old Stoic books from like the Victorian era of Victorian people trying to replicate Stoicism. And one of the guys was really, really honest at the end of his book and said, basically said it was all a bunch of shit. So he wrote this book. It was like, yeah, Stoicism, this sort of plan for the worst, but expect the best sort of thing. So when the worst comes around, you're ready for it and all that type of stuff. And then at the end of it, he said, yeah, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And because I've listened to that guy, I've always now got that in the back of my head. So when I read something really cool, I've always got this negative thing in my head that goes, yeah, it might work.
See, I can't deal with that, because it's like, and again, like, I have lots of people that I know that would never dream of taking a risk or anything like that. But then, imagining the worst case scenario, I can't get that in my head. It just doesn't fathom to me, because again, it's almost like you're waiting for it to happen. It's like, and the more you wait for it to happen, the more it will happen. Like if you think positive things happen. And if you think negative things happen. And the quicker that sort of change, and it does, it's like they say, money comes to money, doesn't it? And positive stuff comes to positive people.
Oh, what's that thing? What are you talking about there? When someone thinks something, it comes to them.
Manifestation.
Yeah. That's what you're talking about.
No, but it's true though, isn't it? Like I say, you see a rich man, they're like, well, they've got that much money. Well, because money comes to money, and it does. You need money to start, but money comes to money.
Tell you, I've had one experience of manifestation.
Go on.
One experience. I worked at a university once, and they had a sort of party for the staff, and they sold loads of raffle tickets, like loads of raffle tickets, right? But they had all the raffle tickets laid out on the table like that. So you give them the money, and then you can pick what numbers you like, strip what you wanted off the table.
Right.
And I was like, I knew I was going to win. I just knew I was going to win. So I picked the raffle ticket, just picked one up, and I sat down, and all night I was like, I'm going to win. I'm going to win. And I won the top prize. And I swear to God, that was manifestation. And I've tried to do it so many times since. It's never happened.
They say that, don't they? Like manifestation, they say that you should see yourself already won.
Yeah.
It's like when I manifest that I could try and fit in the bath, and it still doesn't work. So I can't actually see myself in the bath because I just don't fit.
For me, it was more, I knew it was going to happen rather than I'm making this happen sort of thing. Well, for you, getting in the bath is a little bit different.
Yeah. Even extra shower gel.
How would you say bath?
Bath.
There's no R in it, though. It's Bath, isn't it? The Bath.
Same as a book.
Double O. Book. What do you live under? A roof, not a roof.
Depends how much money you got. Could be a tent.
It could be a tent. Well, in this government, it could be.
Well, exactly, yeah. It could be another country to buy, maybe.
Mm.
Well, at least you like it down here now in South.
Well, I've come accustomed to the southern ways.
Good. Nothing wrong with that.
uh,
Making your fortunes down south. Do they really say that it's like rich down south and north, and poor up north or Midlands, where you're from?
The poorest areas down here are not a patch on the poorest areas up there.
So what's the typical poor?
You talk about sort of down here. There's some notorious council estates.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, we might as well be open. Reopen Lee Park.
Yeah.
Somers Town.
So I don't really know.
Some-
I'm not too keen, not too sure on.
Paul's Grove.
So they say. Lee Park was always one that's supposed to be
Lee
like
Park.
the one of the biggest council estates.
I like Lee Park.
Yeah, I don't think it's poor. I know a lot of people that are from there.
I like Lee Park.
Yeah, I think you always get some arsehole in every,
Yeah, that's the
like me where I live.
in this gentleman's Lee Park. Really cool, nice people. I don't want to take away anything from any poor places or people that are in that poor bracket down here. But when you go to places like in Stoke, there's a place called Bentley, which was at one point was the biggest council estate in Europe. When you go to like places like Moss Side in Manchester, which, okay, it's got better and things like that. You're living in a different world. Like now, not long ago, I was in Birmingham, and okay, the bin men are on strike in Birmingham, but walking through Birmingham, you're in a different world now. Down here, whoever complains about living on the south coast and Portsmouth is like, I look at them and think, you've not been to some of these dark, forgotten places. And the problem with Stoke is, at one time it was a thriving pottery industry. When I was a kid and I saw that industry destroyed by the government, everything went to China. The best pottery was made in Stoke. And that's where the Great Pottery Throwdown is filmed. I don't know if you watched it.
All right, then go back to politics. What do you think, with this idea that they should zone council tax so that the rich south should pay for the poor north? Now that you've experienced both and you're down here.
I'm going to say no. The rich south shouldn't pay for the poor north.
Surely the service is the same.
No.
No?
Oh, no. Connectivity down here is so much better than where I come from.
Well, as in, well, let's be honest. What do we get? The waste is sometimes done every fortnight.
Yeah, waste is done. Well, I'm going back a couple of years now. I've lived down here a lot longer than... How long have I lived down here? 17 years or something like that? So back when I was a kid, the buses stopped at 6, 7 o'clock.
Yeah, but that's not council tax, though, is it?
No. But I'm saying it's the whole. It's not just the council tax and what that pays.
Yeah. I get the government funding, but I'm just talking about the zonal council tax. Should we pay for that? Because surely the service is the same. It's like they want about doing the zonal for or regional for electricity, and we should pay for the north because where they're further apart, you have to pay for more pylons. I'm like, well, don't live up north then.
No. It's a difficult one for me because I'm fully in support because I earn my own money. And as you said, I'm successful in my own way. And I don't think I would have been as successful if I stayed where I was.
Yeah.
I think the area that I've moved to has allowed me to become who I am.
So do you think it's then fair to say then there's not as many opportunities up there?
Yeah. Or no, there's opportunities, but not the same level of opportunities.
But does the money mirror the
lifestyle?
living? Yeah.
No, it doesn't, because it's still the same price. Last time I was up in Stoke, I went into Tesco, and it's still the same price for a loaf of bread down here. There's up there.
Yeah.
It's still the same price as for a pint of milk or a carton of eggs that is down here.
So even if your house is cheaper up there, for argument's sake, you still got cost of living.
You still got the cost of living. You don't earn as much. Like my equivalent job up there would probably be a good 10 grand less.
Yeah.
It's just because we're living on that. But do I think our council tax should be higher to subsidise that council tax? Very difficult question for me because I've got split thingy, and sometimes I think Well, I sort of hope some of my money goes to it, but then I think if they take some more of my money for services that aren't actually being
Yeah,
given, so these potholes on the fucking roads, bushes just over there's a bush that you can't even walk past on the street,
yeah.
that they haven't done anything with. So would that money get to the right places from my pocket to the right sort of project in Stoke or in Yorkshire or something like that? I don't think it would.
Thing is, though, as well, it's like, so I was looking up today. If you're someone who works for a company on PAYE, for argument's sake, so you are subject to 37 taxes in your life, one of the most highly taxed countries in the world. And if you own your own company, you're subject to 40. So, and a lot of them are double tax. So they would class the double tax as tax through life, PAYE, and tax when you die, effectively inheritance tax. That's classed as double tax. Same as like a tax to the state and a tax to the council would be classed as double because you should pay one. But with all the duties on your foods and everything like that, there's 37 different taxes. So you think with 37 different taxes on your life, why is anyone poor?
Yeah.
Or why is there a difference? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's utter bollocks.
That's right. It's sort of bollocks. It's unfair.
Yeah. But then most of politics is all about unfairness because a lot of people will sit there and say, working class will turn around and say it's unfair because we're supporting people on welfare or disability or whatever. Millionaires would probably say, well, we're paying for everybody else. And people on welfare will turn around and say, millionaires should be taxed to shit. It's difference of opinion. But the whole point is it's everyone's outlook on what's unfair, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, in that respect, there should be this fine line that suits everybody, but
There should.
There isn't. It should be this fine line, but I think at the moment, from my point of view and the way that I live, and my lifestyle, the way that I earn money, we're over that fine line a little bit because I'm getting. I've got a good job. I've got a couple of. I do a lot. I'm always working,
Yeah.
never stop. Do you know what I mean? Like we've got this and we're trying to monetize this. So monetize this, Spotify. We've got multiple income streams. Still, it's difficult to live.
Yeah.
It's difficult to live. And we're saying that in this grand gentleman's club, but it's difficult to live.
It is. But then, I mean, I think like, again, it's all down to like when you say like schools and stuff like that, they don't teach the right things in school.
Yeah.
And this is what I mean about like media and teachers in school, because you're not talking about money in school. You're not talking about credit reports. How old were you when you worked out what a credit report was? Not saying you didn't hear about it, but when was the first time you realised? When you went for a mortgage? When you went for a mortgage, you turn around and they're like, "Oh, right, your credit report needs to be clear." What's that then?
It was actually trying to get a fucking finance for a car.
Yeah. And they turn around and you're like, "Oh, cool." Why are they not teaching kids in school about, credit reports? Surely
It's mad.
a credit report, they should know what it is. And if you go and sack the shit out of a credit card and then try and go and get a car or a mortgage, they're going to tell you where to go.
Honestly, I was in mid-20s. I've always been very careful with money, looked after myself, stayed away from credit. The biggest debt I got is my mortgage. Wouldn't buy anything on finance, kept away from it, worked hard to get the things that I got. And then I went to buy this car on finance because I got a better job. I was like, I need a better car. I can't be driving around in an old Proton where when I go around a roundabout, the door flies open. I need to get a good car.
The thing is, though,
But
you say that about mortgages. See, a lot of it is you're taught the wrong things. So, like, I would turn around, like I said to you earlier, if you've got 10 grand in your bank account, in your savings account, one, under the new Labour government, you're going to be taxed to fuck on it anyway, right? That's the one thing, right? You've already paid tax to earn it. Now you're going to be taxed for an interest. Cool. Number two, if interest has been lower than inflation for 12 years, right? Which means that what it's worth today isn't what it was worth 5 years ago because inflation's gone up, but your money hasn't gone up. So it's like me saying to you, 5 grand 25 or 100 years ago isn't worth what it should be today. So money in a savings account is a bad idea. You need to invest it.
Yeah,
two, mortgages, repayment or interest only.
it's repayment.
Right. So, cool.
I know what you're going to say.
But the thing is as well, but again, this only applies if you're good with money. If you're shit with money and you can't save or you waste your money every month, a horrible idea. Repayment all the way through. But a mortgage, what they don't tell you is a mortgage is front loaded. So if you get a 25-year mortgage and you go out and say, right, I'm going to go and get a 5-year mortgage on a fixed term tomorrow, and I'm going to buy that house over there. So what happens with that is they say, right, cool, we're going to give you a mortgage. Congratulations, there's your keys. But at some point, you're going to change your mortgage and go with someone else. So what we're going to do is we're going to front load it with interest. And you'll sit there after 4 years and go, cool, we've done really well. How much have I paid off my mortgage? Fuck all. Because all you've done is pay off their interest. Whereas if you're good with money and you go to interest only and you invest the money you've got, you can invest it into something that will pay off your current mortgage a lot quicker than...
I get what you're saying. I think I'm in a different position because of the house that we brought was from a family member.
Right.
So we got it cheaper.
But even so, say, argument's sake, just say repayment, say repayment £1,000 a month, argument's sake. If you went interest only, it was 600, and then you had £400 a month to put away, and then maybe, I don't know, go and get a buy-to-let or invest it in other stuff, you know, or like a high yield account. Because as long as your interest is earning more than inflation, you're winning.
Yeah, I know. I get it. I get it. It might actually, in May, my mortgage is coming up for renewal. But at the moment, I'm quite happy with how many years I've got left. Do you know what I mean? I'm like 30. I'm 30. How old am I? How old am I? 30,
He's in his 30s.
I'm in my 30s. I'm in my late 30s. 38, 39, 38, 37, 38, 39. One of them three. I'm one of them.
We're still trying to find his birth certificate.
Yeah. Up north, you don't get them.
You get a barcode on a receipt.
Yeah. You're lucky if you get a receipt.
But the daddy.
I'm quite lucky because of the way that I brought my house. But I do invest. So most of my investment, and you know this, we've discussed this a lot. I try to invest in some long-term dividends paying organizations to put them in there, and some. We have a gamble, don't we?
Yeah,
like a gamble. Recently, we've
that's down to you, by the way. Well, was it my idea and your wisdom? Because you are the tech guy.
Yeah. I use some creative technology to highlight some up and coming.
So basically, let's be honest.
Go on, you do it.
We were pissed.
Yeah.
And talking about stocks and shares. You were talking about, actually, that was it. You came in and you were talking about Grok. And I was like, I only know that because it's been on the news. And you said that, correct me if I'm wrong, but you said about Grok, and you were saying that it started calling you Big Man, which everyone up north used to call you.
Yeah.
And then it used to say, hey up, Big Man. And it was like that. How the fuck does this AI know who I am? And I was like, is it that good? And you're like, yeah. And I was like, you need to ask it what shares we should invest in. Which we did. I think it was only about £25 each. And then within 3 or 4 days, it was up to 300 quid, wasn't it?
It was. It's given us some very, very good advice.
This is a disclaimer, by the way.
Disclaimer, don't. Yeah.
Don't be like us.
Don't be like us. And plus, Grok is not paying for this in this podcast. But I used that platform, and I said something like, pretend you are the best or top trader on the Trading 212 app. You've got 50 quid and you need to turn that 50 quid into mega money straight away because you've got debts to pay. What would you do and where would you put it? And then it gave me all this information, and it said, you put it here because of this company and this is what the market looks like. Put it here because of this company because this is what the market looks like. For long-term solutions, you need to be looking at dividend-paying organizations and things like that. I was like, well, I already do that. So I took that top few thingies, top few companies it suggested, and we've invested in them. And I think 2 of them are doing really fucking well. One of them.
Did you take your money out when it was high?
Some to part out so that I could.
I didn't.
So when it was high, we had a conversation, didn't we?
Yeah.
Should we take it out? You said no, and I was like, all right, I'll leave it for a bit. And then I saw it go down twice in a day, or 2 times or 3 times in a day. I was like, I'm taking out, but I didn't take it all out. I took half of what I've made out and then just put it in my dividend stocks in like BP or I can't remember.
Yeah.
I put it in just so that I know that I'm going to get some more.
So I left one in and it went to shit.
But that's
I'm in for the long term.
that's what Grok said though. It said like about put it in. It's high risk, but take it out.
You didn't tell me that.
It was on the copy and paste I took off Grok. But yeah,
just give me a minute to check my WhatsApp.
But then we did it again. We looked at some other companies. One of them was like this modular nuclear reactor company, and that's slowly gone up. It's gone down a little bit, but I can still see it's up before. Is it Oklo or something like that?
See, but yours is different to mine. So I'm on Hargreaves Lansdowne, and you're on Trading 212. But you seem to get, because mine, you're already in a minus straight away because you take their costs into account straight away. But you don't get that, do you?
No, I don't get that.
Oh, maybe I need to get yours then.
Yeah.
I mean, Hargreaves Lansdowne, they're brilliant for ISAs and stuff like that, but just looking at constantly in the red, maybe not so much.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
Shall we have a break there?
Yeah.
Drink and a piss?
Yeah.
There we go. We're back.
Do you need a flake in that?
I do.
Sorry.
I do like this is called 4 beers in, but I'm pretty sure about 8.
About 7, I think.
7.
Maybe we should do one that's like 17 beers in.
We need to
just be a load of slurry bollocks.
That's what the listener wants, I think.
Well, it's it. Pull up a chair. You're next. But so what's the plan going forward? We're gonna have guests.
Yeah,
we are
guests. I mean, today this is the first one. We're just drinking and talking bollocks. See
bit
what
of introduction. But what we talk about.
Yeah.
And then I think there's some. I can think of some people that could come along who are hilarious.
We'll get some high caliber guests, top caliber.
Oh, I think they're all funny. Some of the people we can get on are just naturally hilarious people, and see if they can do it whilst on film
and make us some money.
Yeah, that's always good. That's what we're here for.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah, always like to make money.
So yeah, I think yeah. Moving forward, we'll have guests. We'll have a chat.
You do know we have to buy another microphone.
Yeah, and probably another one of them things because the microphone won't fit in, or the software we use can call them in.
What about those mics we used before, or do we not use them anymore?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, like these.
Yeah.
Yeah, then we could try and link it up to that and use an external mic as well, but there's so many options. And I've had so many drinks.
Yeah. That's fine. So we get guests in.
We'll get guests.
They'll be funny. It's going to be good. We'll get them hammered first. I think we're going to have a couple of themes as well, aren't we? We're going to try a drink of the night.
Yeah, drink of the night.
Some disgusting, we will take requests.
Yeah, we will. What was that drink that I sent you the other day? Went home and the only alcohol I had in the house, and I put it all in a jug.
Well, this is another result of 4 beers in, where you go home, find like inadequate amounts of mixers in your house, and start. Was it Vimto?
It was Vimto, gin, something else.
But it was all right, yeah?
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Right, so apparently cocktail making now we're going to do as well.
But the Vimto topped it off.
Well, we're gonna increase the drinks in the bar because it's a bit sparse, and then we can start making a drink of the evening and give our feedback.
Yeah, and we get our guests to do it.
What drinks are you good with? And what drinks are you not good with?
I'm not going to touch tequila.
See, I'm not good with tequila, but I think it'd be unless it's in a Long Island iced tea, and then I love it. I am a Long Island iced tea fan.
I don't know what it is, but tequila, I can't do it.
Have you ever had sipping tequila though?
No.
See, I was lucky enough to go out to Arizona, and one of my friends lives out there, and he bought us this expensive sipping tequila. And you like whiskey, it was so smooth, it was amazing. It was so smooth, and we had 2. There was like it's like a $30 shot and a $50 shot that came out of this like woodwork box with like cobwebs on it, and it was pretty amazing. But then we went back to the regular tequila, and it's not good for me. But then you like Sambuca.
Oh yeah, I could drink that. Give me a bottle, that'll be gone in minutes. I drink Sambuca, any colour Sambuca as well, white, black, pink, whatever. Sambuca. Do you know what I mean? I'm just looking at your bar.
But you are a bit of a, like I said as well, like, I always refer to you as Batman. You're grinning already. The reason I refer to you as Batman is you're a mild-mannered businessman by day, and then when you've had a few beers, you are, well, I don't know if deviant is the right word, because that would imply...
Don't say that. I mean,
not as in the sexual deviant, just as in You're off your head.
Yeah, I mean, I, I work hard. I put the hours in. I practice extreme ownership. If you ever read the book Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink, and then sometimes I have to have that
Release.
release, and generally that release happens around you. And I mean, sometimes the release is massive. What? How many times have we had a release since New Year's Eve? New Year's Eve was a release.
Well, was it, or was it just all like a practice of the podcast?
I think it might have been a practice, and then us. Yeah, it was a bit. It was a practice.
So what does that make me then? What's the? I can't think of the term. You know, where you like encouraging someone.
A facilitator.
Yeah, drink it. Have another one.
Drink it, Kyle.
Yeah,
More
yeah,
drink. Drink
yeah.
it down. Another bottle of wine.
That's it.
But
You can still drive home.
don't listen to them. You can do anything. You could drive home.
That's it. Take that.
No, I
What
mean,
is it? It's paracetamol.
it's one of the things. So you've got to have that release. You've got to have these outlets, or else you're gonna. I would break. I think I would break. The amount of stuff that we do, and the people that are closest to me tell me as well. They're like, "Why are you doing it?" I'm like, "Because I don't know. I can't sit there and do nothing. I can't sit there and do nothing."
I'm not very good at sitting still, but it's yeah. No, you're easy though. It's like that. Yeah, I'm gonna have one. No, you're not.
That's it. No, I am.
Have another one.
Yeah, I'm so.
All right, that's it. Of course it is.
Have a whiskey.
Your glass looks. It's only half full, half empty.
But the thing is, I can do it and still be pretty compass mentis. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is it time?
No, I just noticed my dog's pissed on the rug. Hang on. I'll be 2 seconds.
Well, while we wait for Scott, we're in the perfect situation to talk about the room that we're actually in. Now, Scott told me that he was building a bar in his back garden, and I was like, oh, brilliant. He did have a little shed in the back garden that he turned into a bar that had a fridge in it that had some beers. And in the summer, we'd stand here and have a few beers. But what is built now, just looking around this place, is absolutely remarkable. It's like a gentleman's club, these wood paneling, leather chairs, stools that we need to sort out because they're not that great for this podcast. And as you've probably seen that, I'm sat like an idiot. The bar is absolutely brilliant. He's got proper pumps and proper kegs at the moment on tap. Yeah, he has featured beers, and at the moment we've got Moretti and Blue Moon, which is brilliant. He's got a keg of Stowford Press, and then you've got all these bottles of spirits. The massive Johnny Walker Red Label, we've already got through one of them. There is a big skull of Dan Aykroyd's vodka, and now he's back. I'll just wait for him to put his headphones on. I'll tell him what I was talking about. So while you're
Ghostbusters.
while I was away, mate, I was talking about your bar and just saying that what you built here is brilliant, and talked about the featured beers, what you've got on Moretti and Blue Moon, and then we talked about some of the spirits,
Yeah.
and the leather bound chairs. What you need is a bookshelf with many volumes of leather bound books.
Yeah, or yeah.
Or a pole.
That'll work.
Yeah, that would.
No, I think it's going to be good. It's not bad for the first one.
No.
No.
I mean, this bit now we are good half an hour in. We've got 20 minutes previously. Oh, no, that's wrong. 15 minutes previously.
Yeah.
And then it went all wrong, and I'll have to sort the tech issues out. But we've probably got a good 30, 40 minutes of
I think that's right. I think, yeah, I was going to say 50
Yeah,
minutes is probably enough anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
As we said, we'll do these as maybe a couple a month, depend how much drink we can tolerate, how many people we can get on.
I think as well, what we can do, we're going to answer questions, and anyone put like questions in the comments and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like,
and what we think about stuff.
we've got a Instagram. If you want to ask us any questions or you want us to talk about anything, drop us a DM on Instagram.
We'll do our best not to tell you to fuck off.
Yeah, we'll do our best to reply, and or not Yeah, I just got to say, tell you to fuck right off.
Yeah, ask me some questions.
I've got some questions.
I do like an interview or a questionnaire.
Yeah. Send in some questions.
If you want the truly honest answer, then answer me a question.
We're going to try and do some TikTok shit. We're going to try and do some Instagram shit, but I'm somewhere in my 30s, as we found out that this podcast somewhere late 30s. How old are you, Scott?
Well, after 21, I turned to letters, so I'm like 21K or something stupid like that.
Fucking social media isn't my strong point. I can't be sat there all day fucking about TikTok with the kids. We may get someone to do it for us. If the shit, we won't give them anything.
But also, then, if there's a dare, give us a dare, something to do a drink, like you know.
Oh yeah.
Do
yeah, I'll be well up for that.
Let's get like Carl to do like 4 tequilas.
No, not Kyle. No.
And
not Kyle. Scott. Let's get Scott to do
a monkey brain or something like that shit.
Or let's dare our guests.
I like that.
We bullied.
Let's do that.
Bully him.
Let's get someone on the show and make him snort some whiskey.
I know the perfect person. But you know who I'm thinking of.
There's a couple of people going through my mind.
Yeah, there's one particular person.
Interesting. Right, I reckon. Have you give us a funny story throughout your lifetime that someone's told you that's funny?
What do you mean?
Like, there's like those things stick in your brain. Like if you've heard a funny story from like a colleague or something like that. Have you ever had anything like that? Do you want to give me an example?
Yeah, you give me an example.
Years and years ago, a boss of mine. So he, we're probably going back to, I want to say like the 80s, and he had to have a spine fusion. So they fused all his spine, and they basically said you're going to be laying like face down for a good 4 weeks. Won't be at work. But then you got to understand as well, the 80s were like a really like poor time. There's no sick pay, nothing like that. So like times were really hard. Anyway. It was about like I think it's June or July. He went off to have this spine fusing that he had done. Anyway, he'd been at home for about 4 weeks. I mean, obviously, I wasn't an employee of his by then, but this is what his wife told me later on. And she said, he said he woke up one morning feeling a bit better. He could stand up, he could walk around like that. And he's like, I really feel like a drink. And she's like, well, you can't have a drink because we haven't got the money. Because, again, a lot of people were poor, or didn't have like money to fash about, like go and have a drink and stuff like that. And he was like, well, there's a bottle of vodka in the cupboard. And she's like, no, you can't have that. That's for Christmas. So, again, we're talking June, July. And he's like, well, no, we can replace it by then. And, again, like, so times are really hard. And she's like, no, we can't afford to like replace it by then. That's how hard up we are. You're not at work. There's no sick pay. You're not going back to work for at least another 4 weeks. That bottle don't come out of the cupboard unless it's Christmas. So it's cool. So off she goes to work. That was like 9 o'clock in the morning. And she come back at about 5 o'clock. All the neighbours are out in the street. And as she pulled up to the house, she pulled onto the driveway to see her husband, my boss, passed out on the lawn with the dog, with a bottle of vodka on the floor and all the Christmas decorations up.
Fair play.
So he spent the day putting up the decorations just so he could drink that bottle of vodka.
Yeah, no, I probably that's a good story. And now you put me in a position I can't think of one.
And I can always remember you must have heard this one. I'd never heard it at the time. So I had another boss. This is not that long ago, about 15 years ago. And he was really strict. And if you got called up to his office, you'd be like, oh, fuck. I'll get called up to his office. And I'm like, when you think your conscience is clear, you're like, well, I don't know. I just can't think of what I've done. You doubt yourself all the way up there. And you're like, right, okay, cool. And he used to shout as well. And he'd be like one of them. And you think, oh, fucking here we go. I'm getting closer and closer. And you're like, it's racking my brain. Can't think what I'm doing. Get to his door. He's like, come in. All right, yeah. Close the door. And I'm like, what? No, we'll never close the door. Right. And I think, oh, fucking here we go. Close the door. Sit down. He said, if you woke up face down in the field covered in mud with a used condom hanging out of your arsehole, would you tell anyone? And I went, what? Answer the fucking question. If you woke up face down in the muddy field with a used condom hanging out of your arsehole, would you tell anyone? And I went, no. You went, do you want to go camping this weekend? And I've heard it loads since. I've never heard of that. But my boss was so strict. I was like, you fucking prick. So yeah, little stories like that. I'll think of some more for next week.
I will. I'll think of some. I'll write them down so I remember. But I think that's it then for today. For the listeners, I hope that helped. I hope you got something from that.
Or little north and south there.
Yeah, some nuggets of wisdom in there, maybe. Yeah,
And just generally don't be a prick.
yeah. Don't be a knobhead. Don't be a knobhead. Treat people the way that you want to be treated. Uh, it's not so serious.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah. Fuck it.
Well, just, yeah. So send us some questions or something to talk about.
Send some Scott some dares. What do we want
Yeah.
to get him to do?
And how many shots of tequila Carl could do.
Yeah, no tequila. 0 tequila for Kyle. But
You
yeah,
know, if they request it, you got to do it.
yeah, I know. That's the rules. They're the rules. But we will see you next time
Oh.
on 4 Beers In.